Why make games? Why are we here? Why should you and I spend our time making video games? Well, you're all here, you all have taken the initiative, as I said, to participate in this club. You've selected this as a part of your week, as a part of your day. And why would you do this? Well, the answer is likely going to be subtly different for each of you. Games are personal. Games have all shaped our lives in individual ways. Your story, your experience with games, and what has brought you here is going to be different than mine. But I'll bet that there's an important personal element to it. How games shaped your childhood, or helped you through a tough time, or helped you bond with friends or family. These personal experiences are very likely our main driving factor in our first steps into game development, what sparked that interest. But there's more to games than just our experiences as players. But playing games is not the same thing as making games. Unfortunately, it's not quite as simple as playing the game to tighten up the graphics on level 3. It's work, creative and fulfilling work, but work nonetheless. And that's what I really hope you all discover through the process of building and finishing a series of small games, that making games is by itself intrinsically very fun and fulfilling, though perhaps in a different way than playing games. Perhaps you're driven by perhaps you're driven to create games that you want to play that don't currently exist. However, if that's not an immediate hook to you, which is understandable, let's talk numbers. In 2019, the global games market made roughly $152.1 billion revenue. That's a big number, but what does it mean? Well, let's compare to film. Avengers Endgame became the highest grossing film of all time last year. Great movie, lots of hype, pomp and circumstance. It was a huge event that you're all aware of. After an extended run and re-release to beat Avatar, Endgame grossed $2.797 billion. That's a lot of money. But a drop in the pond compared to our $152 billion game revenue figure. But Endgame was only one film released last year. How much did the business make in total? $35.3 billion. A far cry from 152. Video games make more money than film by a lot, and they have since the 80s. It's a true story. In fact, the games industry makes more total revenue than film, music, books, TV, all other entertainment spheres combined. Note that this figure is using earlier projections for 2019 and beyond. 35.3 is a more accurate film gross figure for 2019, according to my sources. And TV has also had a huge growth in revenue in the recent years, and starting to come close to rivaling games, but still, the point remains the same. Video games are a big business, bigger than we realize. Who here doesn't know about Grand Theft Auto 5? I would expect no one. GTA 5 is the most profitable, highest grossing entertainment product in human history, which, as far as we know, is all history. And not only that, it earned that title shockingly quickly. It only took GTA 5 3 days to earn $1 billion. Compare that to some of the biggest films, including Avatar, which again held the title for highest grossing film for a very long time. Games are a huge business. And a huge business needs bodies. They want you. You can work in games. It's easier than you think. The industry at large is always hiring new programmers, artists, designers, marketers, financiers, everyone. The video game industry is absolutely a viable career path. And while there are issues with it, like any industry, I will say that pay has never been a big issue for company game developers. But this isn't addressing the building and the room that we're standing in. We're in Vegas, baby! And the casino gaming, while completely distinct from the video games industry in terms of business and numbers, is still a games industry. And a games industry needs game developers. This building, our program, it's all about game inventors getting patents on gambling games, like my own, for truly the biggest entertainment industry in the world. Games made $152 billion last year, film $35 billion. How much did casino games make? $200 billion. Somewhere in the range of $455 billion. While gambling isn't as popular in the US, around the world, 26% of people gamble. This makes huge numbers. If you want to, the video game industry and the casino gaming industry are both extremely viable career paths. If you're a computer science student, then learning Unity is absolutely your best bet for getting a job. It's the most popular engine in the video game industry and the gambling industry. And it's increasingly used elsewhere for visualization projects, for things like architecture and construction, used in artificial intelligence, job training through gamification for all fields, and so much more. Games make money, and that's absolutely a valid reason to get into game development, whether it's for yourself, your family, charity ambitions, whatever it is. I hope through this process of chasing that goal, you'll quickly find that making games by itself is fun, rewarding, and satisfying. I always like to think of game development as the ultimate combination of filmmaking and computer science, taking the best parts of both. And in that, game development is incredibly interdisciplinary, where no matter your skills or interests, there's going to be a place for you in games. There are a lot of reasons to make games. Your reasons are going to be personal and unique, but no matter your reasons, there's a place for you to build games together. You're wanted here. Please stick around and show me what you can do. And that's that little presentation.